This is the frontal bone. This is the supraorbital foramen. This is the coronal suture. This is the parietal bones. This is the temporal bones. And this is the sphenoid bone. This is the superior orbital fissure. This is the inferior orbital fissure. This is the ethmoid bone. This is the maxillae. This is the alveolar margin and process of maxillae. This is the in-orbital foramen. This is the mandible. And this is the mental foramen. These are the zygomatic bones. These are the lacrimal bones. These are the nasal bones. And then inferior nasal concha, and then the vomer. This is the frontal bone, the coronal suture, the parietal bone, the squamous suture. This is the lambdoid suture. This is the mastoid process, styloid process, the mandible, mental foramen, zygomatic process, the zygomatic bone, the nasal bones, and the ethmoid bone. The frontal bone, the parietal bone, the occipital bone. This is the sagittal suture, and then the coronal suture.
This would be considered the frontal bone. This would be considered the temporal bone and the occipital bone. This right here would be the jugular foramen. This would be the foramen magnum. This right here would be the greater wing, the lesser wing. This right here would be the optic canal, the foramen rotunda, the foramen ovule, and the foramen spinosum. The next one would be the crista galli, the cribriform plate. This right here would be the sella turcica.
So this is the sacrum. This is the sacral canal. These are the sacral foraminas. This is the superior articular process and facet. This is the median sacral crest. And this is where the sacral hiatus would be. And this is the coccyx. And for lumbar vertebra, this is the body. This is the vertebral foramen. This is the transverse process. This is the spinous process. This is the superior articular process, and this is the inferior articular process, and this is the lamina. And this part would be the pedicle, and that's it.
This is the posterior view of the skull. Right here we have the right and left parietal bones, and it's divided with the sagittal suture. Down here we have the lambdoid suture. This bone is the occipital bone. This is the right and left temporal bone. This suture is the squamous suture. Down here near the occipital bone we have the occipital mastoid suture. Right here you can see the styloid process. This is the maxilla. This is the mandible. This is the inferior view of the skull. Right here we have the right and left temporal bone. Beneath that we have the external acoustic meatus on each side of the temporal right and left bones. Right below the external acoustic meatus we have the mastoid process. And the mandibular fossa is located beneath the mandible. Right here on the right and left side. The carotid canal is located right next to the styloid process, which is this. So the carotid canal would be right here. The zygomatic process will be below the zygomatic bone. So right here is the zygomatic bone. And right here on the right and left side is the zygomatic process. The occipital bone is located right here, with this being the foramen magnum. The occipital condyles are located right above, with the hypoglossal canal located underneath the occipital condyles. Next, we have the sphenoid bone, which is located right here, with the foramen ovale being this first hole, and the foramen spinosum being this second hole. So right here we have the foramen ovale, foramen spinosum, with the paragoid process being located right here on each side. Right here we have the maxillae, with this being the palatine process. This bone right here is the mandible, with this area being the mandibular ramus and above the coronoid process.